A hiatus doesn't necessarily mean a rest. All this and more in this episode of Highlight Sundays. Hello and welcome back to Highlight Sundays. It is the 33rd week of 2012 and here are your highlights. First things first, we do not have a PSA this week, which is of course good news. Also, I'm slightly switching up the format of the show again so that I get to be a little bit more brief with things. Having said that, let's begin. First of all comes an article from Engadget. An aspiring archaeologist actually found some pyramids using Google Earth. These pyramids are of course unknown, unexplored, so this finding is actually pretty significant. Now, we always knew Google Earth gave us a very different perspective onto things. We get to see a lot of things that we don't normally get to see. So in a case like this, there could actually be a breakthrough being made thanks to Google Earth. Now, the status of this project, as far as I'm aware, is that it has been established that these pyramids are indeed unexplored. So now it's up to archaeologists to decide whether or not they actually want to send teams of people to actually go there and explore these pyramids. Our second article today concerns Google. Now, as you know, among all the services provided by Google, one of its greatest services is its advertising. So it came a little ironic when Google actually posted this advertisement in a newspaper. It's an advertisement about advertisements. Now, it's a little bit hard to describe, so the picture is here, and I will link you to the article in the description. I guess it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing, but I bet it does its job. Now, here's an equally tongue-in-cheek but way more serious one from Lifehacker. This article is an educational article for if you ever have the misfortune of being stuck in a jungle. Here's how to catch fish with your bare hands. It is a pretty interesting read. I don't know when we will actually apply this. Hopefully never. But it is an interesting snippet of information. Next up, I have for you a little video link. This video is made by YouTube user Vsauce. His channel is filled with little snippets of interesting information, and this video is no exception. This video contains 21 things you should do online now, guys, or abbreviated to DONGs. Basically, in the video description of his video, you can find a list of mostly interesting websites that normally serve single purposes. Some of these items are just for fun. For example, there's this game where you can play using Wikipedia pages. Then there are also the more serious ones. For example, there's this site where you can enter a password and it will tell you how secure or insecure that password is. So there are quite a number of interesting resources. I do urge you to check it out. It does seem very fun. So hop over to the video. There will be an annotation link on screen as well as a URL in the video description. So, how did this episode of Highlight Sundays feel? As you would probably notice, I'm elaborating slightly less on each of the articles. Now, there are a number of reasons why, and I thought I'd actually talk about all of these in one combined vlog segment. As you know, last week I was on hiatus. It was the final week before my uni term began, and I thought I'd actually take a week off to get my things in order, decide how my schedule is going to work out with my uni timetable. As hinted before multiple times, I'm going to actually have to cut down a little bit on my YouTube workload, so hopefully my various time commitments can balance out. What you're seeing in today's episode of Highlight Sundays, which is the slightly more abbreviated format, is one of the changes. Another thing, as mentioned before on multiple occasions, is that I'm only going to have 2 videos every week. By the looks of things, I'll try to keep it on Monday. So you'll have your normal video on Monday, as well as an episode of Highlight Sundays on Sunday. That's the problem with creating a show with the name baked in. You can't change it because the day of the week is part of the title. So I've been to my first week at university. It's a pretty interesting experience. I'm not sure I'm entirely used to the way they do things yet, but I guess that's just a matter of time. And hopefully when the time comes that I can juggle my various time commitments, I will be able to return to doing videos full time again. And trust me, I am extremely looking forward to that day. But that's all there is for today's episode of Highlight Sundays. Do let me know what you think about the format. And of course, if you have any comments, queries or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. As always, before you leave, I appreciate every like, favorite and subscription you give me. But once again, that's all there is for today's episode. Until next time, you are watching Highlight Sundays on 0612 TV.